大家好，有 Mr. Question.
What happened with Iran? Weren't we about to make a nuclear deal? Wasn't our deal maker in chief making a deal to keep Iran from enriching uranium? Actually, didn't we have a deal before our deal maker in chief so wisely pulled us from that deal? Why did this have to go balmy on Iran now?
And by next spring, at most by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage.
Iran is months away from having a nuclear bomb, says Netanyahu, in 2012. Seriously, why did we have to bomb Iran now?
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
Holy shit, that's why. Iran's only weeks away from having an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs, says Netanyahu. In 2015. No, seriously, I'm not being facetious. I really want to know why we had to bomb Iran now.
We're going to show you Iran's secret nuclear files. Here's the warhead. Here's the bomb.
And that's from 2018.
呢個就係以色列喺美國支持下轟炸伊朗嘅起因啊！但係美國唔係淨係同伊朗傾緊禁核嘅咩？哦，炸咗核設施就唔使傾啦。咁樣又點解要傾到第五輪呢？係外交失敗啊，還是另有原因呢？問題又嚟啦，係特朗普計劃咩？特朗普話伊朗你快啲無斷航啊！又話我知道哈梅內伊喺邊度，以色列隨時可以炸死你㗎。以色列又話已經佔有德黑蘭制空權，唔想死就快走啊！唔係話打擊核設施嘅咩？加沙都係無差別㗎啦，唔係信上帝嘅就憐憫咗咩？伊朗真係會亡咩？一個幾千年文化嘅文明古國就俾一個小國滅亡，仲要隔咗1000多公里。但如果美國直接參戰呢，咁伊朗係唔係就要亡呢？ Basic question 問題先生發掘時事盲點，或者正確答案，讓大家明白事實嘅真相。喺節目之前，請各位訂閱。並且撳埋右下角個鈴鈴，再選其全部，有新影片就會通知各位。
You know which country does have nukes in the Middle East? Israel, in violation of UN Security Council resolutions. You know which country doesn't allow Iaea inspectors into the country? Israel. You know which country hasn't signed the NPT, unlike Iran? Israel. We should talk about Israel's nuclear weapons, which actually incentivize others in the regions, not just Israel, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, to think about nuclear weapons of their own. I'd rather not have more nukes in the Middle East with anyone.
我內塔尼亞胡再神，連美國政府都唔敢唔聽我嘅話。你阿拉伯點敢同我對敵啊？下地獄就係你唯一出路。伊朗革命衛隊將領、核子科學家都一齊去咗啦，唔想死啊，就快啲逃離伊朗啦。IAEA 國際原子能委員會都話伊朗冇核彈啊。
We did not find in Iran elements to indicate that there is an active systematic plan to build a nuclear weapon. We have not seen elements to allow us as inspectors to affirm that there was a nuclear weapon that was being manufactured or produced somewhere in Iran.
Iranian authorities also claim that scientists were assassinated after the identities were shared with the IAEA. Can you confirm if any IAEA reports were ever leaked, intentionally or otherwise, to states that may use them to kill, to assassinate? These claims made by Iran.
Absolutely not. How can you imagine? And by the way, we don't have information about addresses, people's lives. Absolutely not. So this is something that I would expect serious press not to peddle.
Those are the allegations made by Iran that I'm duty-bound in this interview to put to you. But I hope you appreciate in a region that where the shadow of the US invasion of Iraq in 2003 still casts a very long shadow, doesn't it? We have to make sure that we have to make sure that any of the intelligence that you may have based your findings on is watertight, which is precisely what we're doing here.
內塔尼亞胡喺2012年就開始話你快有㗎啦，而家就應該有啦。獨媒話。
6月15日，伊朗发射的弹道导弹再次命中以色列市区，冲击力非常让人震撼。而在伊朗境内，以色列空军如入无人之境，是进一步摧毁伊朗的政府组织。战争已经进行到了第4天，那么到底有哪些最新进展？而伊朗还有没有还手之力呢？我们先来看一下以色列的进展。在伊朗西部的科尔曼沙阿市以色列空军正使用捷达姆精确制导炸弹命中伊朗的军事基地。视频中的炸弹几乎是以垂直的角度落地。那军事专家确认，这就是美国生产的 GBU-32捷达姆精确制导炸弹。那它是美国生产的1000磅标准炸弹，配备精确制导组件之后，使用滑翔动力，射程大概为30公里。这就意味着以色列空军已经在伊朗境内建立起制空权，战斗机不仅来去自如，而且可以随时在伊朗的头顶上投掷炸弹。伊朗防空系统已经被以色列完全摧毁。不仅如此，以色列战斗机还飞到了首都德黑兰的头顶上。我们现在看到的视频中正是一枚捷达姆炸弹在德黑兰市中心发生爆炸。
但係伊朗唔係巴勒斯坦但係以色列自持有3重防空，鐵穹、大衛彈弓、戰式，從外太空攔到低空，連美軍都冇嘅本事，阿拉伯人都唔放在眼內啦。交戰第7天，內塔尼亞胡表示，以色列已經摧毀咗伊朗過半嘅飛彈發射器。我講過，我哋正係改變中東嘅面貌。而家我要講嘅係，我哋正係改變世界嘅面貌。但係事實係，戰事第6天，哈梅內伊誓言永不妥協。伊朗戰術升級咗啦。
伊朗的战术越打越漂亮，4枚成功砸中摩萨德总部。16号深夜，伊朗明显换了新打法，无人机数量暴增，还时不时甩出几枚巡航导弹。跟之前铺天盖地的饱和攻击不同，这次每次就那么几枚导弹突防，给特拉维夫和南部地区添了点小乱子。但17号上午，伊朗破天荒在大白天搞集群导弹发射，再加上阿曼湾突然燃起大火，局势瞬间升级。以色列看到前几天挨炸的视频在网上疯传，脸上实在挂不住，赶紧下令禁止拍摄。所以昨晚伊朗导弹具体战果如何，咱们只能从零碎消息里拼凑。
以色列中段拦截弹药短缺问题越来越明显，末端拦截效率远低于中段，拦截成功还可能有碎片坠落，造成附加伤害。这2天，以色列末端拦截时拼命发射导弹，效果却不佳。随着伊朗逐渐摸清以色列反导系统短板，后续可能会有更多尼什和霍拉姆沙赫尔来袭，这些导弹的高爆战斗部可不是吃素的。袭击过后，以色列政府发布数10年来最严格的宣传禁令，显然是怕外界发现真实拦截效果，引发恐慌。现在的问题是，伊朗能坚持多久？以色列又能扛多久呢？
以色列全國大城市遭受重創。
整天天天在玩，这不用。لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر。
伊朗打出一张王牌，具有尊贵的东方血统，400秒撕碎以军反导系统。伊朗革命卫队称，在6月18日凌晨，真实承诺3火力打击的第11阶段行动中，使用了最新型法塔赫1高超音速导弹。这款导弹具有尊贵的东方血统。以色列宣称，法塔赫1高超音速导弹400秒内可打击特拉维夫。该导弹使用固体燃料推进剂，最大射程1400公里，速度达13至15马赫，采用先进的惯性加卫星辅助修正制导系统，末端精度误差小于30米，弹体还采用了隐身涂层。
中國表態啦。
當前中東地區局勢緊張敏感，面臨失控的風險。中方反對任何違反聯合國憲章宗旨和原則、侵犯別國主權安全和領土完整的行為，反對在國際關係中使用或威脅使用武力。國際社會，特別是有影響力的大國，應秉持公正立場和負責任態度，為推動停火止戰、重回對話談判創造條件，避免地區局勢滑向深淵，引發更大的災難。
伊朗係咪會亡呢？取決於美國會唔會直接參戰，但係後果係
Wow, this is a craziness. This is self-destructive unless Mr. Netanyahu can count on the United States coming in. And if that were to happen, then where will Russia go, who has a defense treaty with Iran? And where will China go, who has a defense treaty with Russia? This is how World War I and II got going. When one country invaded another, and then the alliances were called in. What in the world are people thinking? This is nuts. And the fact that there might be this much chance that Iran is somewhere near nuclear weapons, by this point, how much difference does that make? There are probably 20 countries that have some kind of nuclear weapons program. North Korea, we know, has it. Russia, China, we know, has it. France and Britain have it. Germany, likely going to get it soon. India has it. Pakistan has it. Come on. This is a matter of when, not whether. And Iran isn't the only one. We are being led down the garden path by people whose decision-making is off. That has to be spoken of honestly. In Vietnam, the United States lost. It lost the war. The enemy was the Communist Party of Indochina, of Vietnam, and that's what runs that country now. We were defeated, we invaded, we had hundreds of thousands of troops, they were defeated, they were driven out, and the Communist Party of Vietnam is now in charge of the government. That's what it means when you lose. A lesson was drawn from that, which is that even if you're the biggest, richest, most militarily developed country in the world, and you go to war against one of the poorest countries in the world, Vietnam, at that time, you can be defeated. And Israel attacking Iran, there we go again, somebody else doing what we would like to see done. And Mr. Trump, with his usual waffling back and forth, is moving in that direction, at least as of what the news is that I can study now. Not quite yet decided whether to commit American troops. And let me say, as an American citizen, born here, lived here all my life, worked here all my life, to this minute, Iran is a bigger, more powerful country than Vietnam was. And this is not going to be anything like the make-believe comic book discussions we have. And let me remind everyone as well, there are treaties, mutual defense treaties that we know of between Iran and Russia, and then again between Russia and China. Really? We're really going to risk a war whose outcome is the end of all of us, of the civilization we've created? If we're not literally wiped out as a species, we will be driven backwards in time in a way that ought to make everyone stop and sit down.
伊朗電視台稱會發生一件令世界銘記嘅大事。最新消息，6月10日，伊朗北部發生5.9級地震。官方通訊社報導，根據美國地質調查局探測，地震震央位於伊朗朗姆南省，距離德黑蘭大概150公里，震源深度大概係10公里。伊朗稱為5.5級。咁樣，伊朗係咪真係有呢？最新消息，美軍轟炸伊朗3個核設施，咁樣核戰係咪就快嚟呢？請各位訂閱緊隨本頻道嘅影片，獲取更新嘅資訊。希望大家廣傳，並且歡迎留言讚好。拜拜。